Hello there, this is R2DA, and today we're going to be doing a tier list of all the non-event weapons in Reason to Die. So anyway, let's get started. Here we have the Stayer M. This is the starting weapon, costing $0. Has a damage of 55 and a pretty high fire rate. Has like 12 rounds in a magazine and a pretty fast reload. And there are no real downsides to this gun. I'm going to put it in the S tier because one of the best weapons in the game, no questions asked. Anyway, we're starting out with our handguns here. So next up we have our M93R. This is a burst weapon. It's pretty similar to the Stayer M, except it has lower accuracy, lower damage, and lower range. You can put a suppressor on it, but then the only advantage over the Stayer M, it has the faster fire rate. So I'm going to go ahead and throw this gun in the D tier. Next up, we have the Colt Python. Now, this gun, it has a lot higher damage than both of these guns. But then it doesn't have very much ammo in the magazine. It has 6. I think it has 1 magazine in reserve. So, isn't too great, but the accuracy isn't bad. The range isn't great. We're going to put this in the C tier. And be aware, this is all my opinion. Next up, CK SWAT. This is a pretty interesting gun. Now, hear me out here. I'm gonna put it in the same tier as this gun. Actually, wait, no, let's take a look at it. It has pretty high damage. It has like 140 damage or something. But it has really low range and accuracy. Could put it in the B tier, but I think I'm going to keep it in the C tier. It isn't very good. Okay, the Luger. Now we're getting into the good stuff. This gun's pretty expensive. Not too much more expensive than... Oh yeah, we want to put this in front of the CK. We want to put the CK SWAT in front of the Python. Anyway, our Luger, it has lower damage than both of these guns, but it has pretty high damage. It can one-hit kill pretty much the basic zombies with a headshot. It's not like a great gun or anything. Most people don't like it very much. It doesn't have too much ammo. Then we're gonna put it in the C tier, I guess. I would want to put it like in between the B tier and the C tier, but we're gonna put it in the C tier. It's good. It's really long range. Actually, you know what, for that, it's a B tier again. Okay, next up we have the mini Uzis. These guys, fast fire rate. I like them a lot. They're fast fire rate. Not too high damage, but it's pretty good, I guess. I like using them. Lots of people like using them. They're good for, like, I don't know, most zombies except for like the tickers and brutes, I guess, or guns that are zombies that it's weak against. We're gonna put it in the A tier. It's pretty good. Alright, the dual peacemakers, or whatever they're called. These guns are very good. They've got high damage, lots of ammo in them, lots of ammo, but they do have a pretty slow reload time, which is a downside. They have good fire rate though, so I'm gonna put that in the A tier, behind the mini Uzis. They're good against pretty much all. They're really all around guns, and they could almost go in the S tier. I'm gonna put them in front of the mini Uzis. So okay, let's see. Next we have the Remington 700. This gun has gone through a lot of changes over time. It used to be a single shot weapon, or I guess it was a bolt action weapon, but then it had like 1 round in the magazine, and you'd have to reload it every time. I don't know, it was pretty weird. And then they changed it to have 5 rounds in a clip, and then 2 clips in reserve, and they buffed the damage so that it one-hit killed. They buffed the damage before they made the ammo better. But then, right now, then they made it so that it didn't one-hit kill zombies. So this does not want to hit kill zombies. It's pretty cheap, but one of the attachments still costs $10,000. I'm going to put it in the B tier, because it's a solid gun, but it isn't great, and it's, I don't know, I don't think it belongs in the A tier. The double barrel. This gun is really fun to use, and it has really high damage. The reload speed is pretty slow. But most new players like this gun to be like their first gun, and if you pair it with the Stayer M, then you can't really go wrong with it. This gun is another B tier. Next up, a Scorpion. This gun has a super high fire rate, and it has one use, and that is player versus player environments where it's close range. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in the F tier. It's kind of sort of good against like when you want to do a lot of fast damage. I guess you could use it in a boss fight if you have nothing else, but it's just not very good. The Wingmaster here is a fun gun. It has pretty high damage, like not as high as the double barrel. Actually, no. It's pretty much the same as the double barrel. Has pretty fast fire rate for a shotgun. But then the downside, I guess, is the range isn't too long, but it's longer than the double barrel. So we're gonna put this gun in the A tier. It's fun to use. Okay, Dragunov. Here's a sniper. It recently got a pretty big buff, I think, where they gave it a lot more ammo. And I see quite a few people using it. I haven't actually used it in quite a while. But since it's a DMR, it's gonna go in the B tier. C tier. It's good, and people like to use it, but it's not a great gun. And it's not really too good of a gun either. I wouldn't really use it in survival, maybe in player versus player, but yeah. Okay, the M16A1. This is a gun that I used to like a lot, because the accuracy used to be 95, but now it's like 50. They did nerf it a lot, but then they gave it some buffs, like, I think, more ammo and things like that. And it's pretty low priced for what you're getting. So anyway, I would like to put this gun in the B tier. It used to be an A tier or maybe even an S tier, but probably not an S tier. It also is a burst fire weapon, so it's going in the B tier. Next up, the Shoddy 12. My review for this gun is going to be very opinion based. This is high damage, but it has no range. You can't shoot it at you can't use it at any range. It's pretty much a Scorpion, except more usable. D tier. The HK416. Here's another heavy opinion based review. This gun, it's pretty much a Thompson, except it's like $1,000 cheaper and a lot worse. Has a higher fire rate and I think hard impact too. And I think it got buffed recently where it got more ammo, but then it's really not a great gun. I wouldn't recommend using it. It's usable and it's still okay, but it's going in the C tier. Actually, it's going in the D tier. I don't like it very much. Next up, the Thompson. This gun is like the alternative to the HK416 that's like way better in every aspect except for fire rate. But then let's be honest, if it's your first like a fully automatic weapon, you don't want the fire rate to be pretty fast. You want it to be slow so you can control it. This gun is going in the A tier. No questions asked there. The Flamethrower. This gun is very situation based. You can't really, or this weapon is very situation based. Has not very much range, but then when you do use it, it is really good, and it can be used in a lot of events to really good and it works really well in a lot of events. Like I would use it in the king cake thing, and I would pair it with these things. I think that would be a good pair if you want to go up and kill all those little like cake things or whatever. But it's really good for farming. But then it's just not good at long range or anything. I'm gonna put this gun in the B tier because you can use it for a lot of different scenarios. But then, oh yeah, also elementals. It can't kill elementals, so you have to bring a secondary that's good for killing elementals. But still, this gun is a B tier because what it does really well. AK-47. Here is a really good gun. This gun, it's moderately expensive. It's one of your first like more expensive guns when you're getting into like the 30,000s and 40,000s. It has pretty high damage, controllable fire rate. It's a really good all-around weapon, and a lot of people like to put it at the same level as the Thompson, and I'm going to do that too. AK-47 is pretty good. The FAMAS, or FAMAS, or whatever you want to call it. I like this gun, but not as much as the AK-47. Before an update, it was like pretty much the same gun as the AK-47, except it shot a lot faster, and it had like a slower reload. Then now, now it shoots a lot faster than the AK-47, or it did before. But it's still, I don't know. But then the AK-47 got more of like the fire rate was slowed down a little bit, and it got more damage and more ammo. And this gun would be an A tier, but then the reload is a bit too slow. The RPG. This is a gun or a weapon that a lot of people like. I like this weapon a lot. Actually, I don't. That's not true. I never use it. It's good for farming, but not and events. But really, I don't like to use it for anything else, just because the radius of the explosions is really big and it eats up your ammo. I think this gun or this weapon, I kind of want to put it in the C tier just because I don't like using it in normal gameplay. And I think the Thompson can move up to the S tier as it's the first really good gun, and it can beat a lot of the other higher ranking guns in a lot of situations, but then really not long range or fire rate. But it's good. It's better for like farming than a lot of the higher tier guns in it, or not in this tier list, like in ranks. The Barrett 50C. This gun is a pretty controversial gun. It has really high damage. I think it has like 300 damage or 200 damage or something. It has a really slow fire rate, and it doesn't have very much ammo in the magazine. I think it's 5 or 6, depending on what update. It used to be really good, or it was pretty good, and then, or I guess it was okay. Then after they changed it a little bit, or changed it a lot, it just turned out to be not very good, and I would pick the Dragunov over this gun. I think we're going to move the RPG to the B tier. It's really not a C tier weapon. Anyway, this gun is going in the C tier, behind the Dragunov, because I would prefer to use. This gun's only good in like free-for-all and player versus player environments, and that's what it's meant for. It isn't great at that, I even find, unless you're in a really big map. But anyway, it's going in the C tier. Lots of people like this gun. Some people pair it with the Bell and use it for farming, but then I don't have the Bell, so I don't have the luxury of doing that. And this is my opinions, so it's the C tier. This is going in the back. Nope. The SFAS 12. This is a really good gun. I would say it's one of the best guns in the game. It has a high fire rate. It doesn't have as much damage as the other shotguns, but it has a lot more accuracy, so that most of your whatever they're called, pellets, hit the enemies each time. So I think this gun is going in the S tier. It's that good, trust me. M249. Here's a gun that it's a really good all-around gun. It has high damage, pretty high fire rate, lots of ammo, but then it does have a few things that really make it not very good. One, the reload is like 7 seconds long, and two, it slows you down when you equip it and you can't sprint or jump or anything with it. Or you can jump, but it doesn't work very well. And because of that, and also the bad accuracy, we're going to put this in the B tier. Our B tier is getting pretty big. This could also go in the C tier, but it's really good for a lot of stuff, so I'm going to put it in the B tier. Alright, P90, this gun is S tier stuff. It's high fire rate, high damage, high ammo, fast reload, has pretty good accuracy, not great accuracy, believe it or not, but then the other stats make up for it does have good accuracy though. It's better than most of the other guns. So yeah, there we have, it goes here. Here we have our Scar H. This gun, super good at long range. It's a really good all-around gun. There's no real downside to it, except but then it doesn't have, it's a good all-around gun. There aren't really any downsides to it. Then, except it's really expensive, I found, and a lot of the attachment, the scope attachment for it, when they made that $10,000, it also made the scope for the Remington 700 $10,000 because it was the same scope. So because of that, I'm going to put it in the A tier. Oh, it has a burst fire mode that's really good too. I'll have to mention that. Anyway, Tri-Blaster. This weapon is, believe it or not, it's really good. It's better than the RPG for most situations, like survival and, I don't know, campaign, just because there's more ammo and you can ration your shots out to be more effective. The RPG is better at like killing brutes and stuff, but then this gun is just more all around at killing any type of zombies, so we're going to put it in the A tier. We could have put it in the S tier and it probably would have fit there pretty well, but it's also really expensive. This next gun, the Winchester. This is my favorite gun in the game. It's going in the S. No, that's not going in the S tier. Actually, the frying pan might in the tin pot. But anyway, the Winchester's going in the S tier. My favorite gun. A lot of people's favorite guns. It's a sniper with high damage and a pretty high fire rate too, believe it or not. And good ammo too, believe it or not. Again, it's going in the S tier. Okay, let's go move on to our melee weapons. We have the tin pot, not the frying pan. This weapon is unlocked when you do the whatever it is, the tutorial. It's free unless you want to pay $250 or $500. No, yeah, it's definitely $250 for it. It's free if you do the tutorial, and it's pairs pretty nicely with the Stayer M because you can, stun your enemies and then give them a couple headshots, or just keep hitting them with it depending on what type of player you are. It's going in the A tier. The shovel. This is not a great melee weapon. Nope, those can stay there. This melee weapon takes a lot more stamina than the tin pot. I think it has like a 4-hit kill or something like that for normal zombies, but it can hit 2 of them. I'm gonna put this in the D tier. And my melee smash loadout is the shovel and the tin pot. But sometimes they use like the lead pipe or something, but yeah. It's going in the D tier. Anyway, fire axe. This is the fire axe. It's like 4,000 or 3,500. It is a really good secondary. It one hit kills zombies, and if you beat the clock boss, which is a pretty easy boss fight, you can get an attachment for it that sets your enemies on fire. It's not really that useful. I guess if you hit a digger with it, it might kill the digger in one hit with the fire attachment. But we're going to put this in the A tier in front of the tin pot because it's better than the tin pot. Actually, the tin pot's a B tier. What am I talking about? Anyway, the lead pipe. The lead pipe, it's 4 hit kills, sort of like a shovel, except I think it takes 6 or 8 stamina. Forget. But anyway, it's a pretty good all-around melee weapon, but then it really doesn't do anything really well. The cost is like 7,000 or something, 6 or 7,000, and the damage is like 35, or 4 hit kill. It's an all-around melee weapon that doesn't really do anything in particular and really good. I'm gonna put this in the C tier. It's good that when this update was released that had it, I was glad that we were getting like a low rank weapon, but then it wasn't really that good, I guess. The baseball bat, this is a really good weapon. It has a max hit of 4, so that makes it really good for like just clearing zombies away from an area. And if you're doing the mini game that's on right now with the gingerbreads and stuff, if you punch the gift box twice and then hit it with the bat, if you do it right, sometimes it'll break the box and then knock all of the gingerbreads back so that you can kill them easily. This is an A tier, S tier. Very good. The Rambo knife, 55 damage, takes 5 stamina. Direct upgrade to the tin pot, believe it or not, and you can also throw it. A tier. The Karambit, it's pretty much the same as the Rambo knife except slower fire rate or slower attack rate, and you can climb. It's good in events, but people really don't use it for anything else. It's a B tier. The Katana. Wait, well, let me check something just to make sure. Okay, that's good. The Katana is a melee weapon, 2 hit kills. It's a pretty fast swing rate, and I think it has a max hit of 2, which is good. If you pair it with like a stamina giving vests, then it can be really effective against hordes. I like this weapon a lot. It's gonna go in the A tier. Just gotta check that again. Here we have our chainsaw. The chainsaw is pretty good. It's pretty much the same as the katana. It's pretty expensive. I don't know, it takes a lot of stamina and one hit kills the enemies. I'm putting it in the A tier just because it's pretty good. Now here we have some weapons that are a bit different than normal weapons. Here we have, this is the M202. You can't buy it anymore, but you used to be able to buy it, and it was like 8,000 or something. And for that price, you get quite a lot. Something that can one-hit kill elementals, and in that day you couldn't one-hit kill diggers, but you could weaken them. You could kill a lot of zombies. One of my first attempts at farming was I would go into a single-player server and sit on top of the industrial building or unfinished building in Cafe County, and then I would wait for the zombies to gather up on the bottom, and then I would shoot them with the M202. It was pretty good. It's really good for the price, but then I'm gonna put it. It's gonna go in the B tier because most of the melees were better than it. The minigun, D tier. It's really good in boss, or it's not even that good in boss fights. It used to be pretty good in boss fights, or I don't know. Did it used to be good in boss fights? Actually, not really. It only works if every single player brings the minigun, and then you all just bring them out at the same time and then shoot the boss. I don't even know if you can do that anymore because most of the bosses these days have like 600,000 or 700,000 health. The boss right now doesn't have that much health, but then when he goes into his rage, he gets 150,000 more health or so. and then that added us up to like 650,000 or 600,000 or so. So it's going in the D tier because it's really not. Actually, you know what? It's going to the F tier. It's not very good for anything at the moment, unless you're a new player and you have a lot of Robux and you want to do good in boss fights or do a lot of damage in boss fights. So you buy this game pass. It's 5,000 Robux for a gun that's not useful. But anyway, that's our finished tier list. Tell me if you think anything should go somewhere else. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people saying that. But anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.